Have you ever stopped to think why your job looks nothing like your grandparents' work? It is a question that cuts right to the heart of our modern lives. The world of work is not a fixed, solid thing. It is more like a river, constantly flowing and carving new paths through our society. Understanding these changes is not just an academic exercise, it is a practical necessity for every business leader, every worker, every policymaker today. The way we organize ourselves to create value, what we call work patterns, is always evolving. These patterns are tied directly to the great economic stages that define an era: the plow, the pixel. The reason this matters so profoundly right now on this day in 2025 is that we are in the middle of another monumental shift. The rise of artificial intelligence and automation is reshaping jobs at a speed we have never seen before. It is a change that promises incredible progress, but also brings deep uncertainty. If we fail to understand the new rules of the game, we risk being left behind, struggling with outdated skills, inefficient ways of working. This essay will explore the great shifts in work, the age of agriculture, the dawn of AI, and offer a clear, practical guide for how we can all adapt and, thrive in this new landscape. Looking back helps us look forward. For thousands of years, the human story was written in the soil. The vast majority of people worked on farms. Their lives were dictated by the rhythm of planting and harvesting. Work was straightforward, but physically grueling. It required an intimate knowledge of the land. The plow, the scythe. The human hand organizations were small and based on family or village ties. Leadership was patriarchal and direct, rules passed down through tradition rather than written in a handbook. Skills were learned through apprenticeship, watching and doing alongside your elders from a young age. Then came the Industrial Revolution, a seismic event that transformed the nature of work. The steam engine, the mechanized loom, people moving from fields into burgeoning cities. Work moved indoors, into noisy, sprawling factories. It was no longer about a season of labor, but about a shift. A set of repetitive tasks performed on a production line, built on the principle of scale and the principle of efficiency, making goods accessible to the masses for the first time. This new world demanded a completely different kind of organization. Family-based farm structures were replaced by rigid, hierarchical companies. Work was broken down into its smallest possible components. Task division, strict rules coordinated the efforts. Layers of management were introduced. Bosses enforced discipline. Foremen enforced discipline. Humans had to work in synchrony with machines. This pyramid-like structure was designed for control and consistency. Skills also underwent a radical change. Farm work required a broad set of practical abilities. Factory work demanded specialization and following precise instructions. Workers trained for a specific role on the assembly line, experts in a single function. The shift required a new approach to education, moving training out of the home, schools, vocational institutions. Society had to build a system to produce a disciplined, literate industrial workforce. Just as the factory replaced the farm, a new economic stage has now emerged, driven by the power of the microprocessor and the global reach of the internet. We have entered the knowledge economy. Ideas, information, creativity. When the economic ground shifts beneath our feet, standing still is the most dangerous thing a company can do. Processes designed for a bygone era become bottlenecks, slowing down decisions, stifling new ideas. Productivity stagnates, then falls. In a competitive market, this quickly becomes lost market share and declining profits, as more agile competitors race ahead with better products and services. A crisis of talent follows. The best leave first. Recruiting becomes harder. Wages suffer. Worker well-being suffers. Jobs grow insecure. A vicious cycle forms. Low morale leads to lower performance. There are real-world examples. Hire reorganized into micro-enterprises. P&G opened up with Connect Plus Develop. AT&T invested to reskill at scale. So how can organizations navigate this great transition and thrive in the new economy? The path forward involves deliberate action in three key areas. First, adapt governance. Move away from rigid, centralized control. Empower smaller teams with authority to test ideas quickly and decide without layers of bureaucracy. Establish simple, clear rules for coordination. Second, master knowledge flow. Break silos, build platforms. Open to universities, labs, startups, even competitors. Third, invest relentlessly in people. Yesterday's skills won't be enough tomorrow. Become an engine of learning. Offer continuous training in broad, transferable skills and deep technical expertise. Make learning part of daily work with short, on-the-job modules. Encourage rotations. Protect time for development. Help workers stay relevant and engaged. In conclusion, work is perpetual change. Firms that act decisively will lead, keeping people employed, creating innovative products, and generating shared prosperity. Leaders ask, are our teams empowered to experiment? Are we learning from the outside world? Are we giving people time and tools to grow? Answer honestly and take small, consistent steps. Build an organization ready for the future. Ensure progress and work move forward together. Looking back helps us look forward, and acting now shapes the future we share.